So on Friday, okay, we have learned about EBS volume previously. Remember, we have learned about EBS volume. What is EBS volume? Basically, it is the internal hard disk which is attached to your EC2 machine to create to store your OS. So this is your EC2 machine. Each machine required three things primarily: RAM, CPU, and storage. Right? I'm splitting the storage into two part. I have split divide the storage into two part. One is for storage for your OS plus application. Anybody has any question? What is OS and application? I have talked many times. What is OS and application? Anybody has any question? What is OS and application? Okay, so I have divided the your storage into two part: storage for your application and OS, and storage for user data. So what is application and OS? So basically, whatever you are installing on your system, it is running your machine. This thing is to run your machine, right? OS is to run your machine. So you install your application, you install your OS, and the data has to be stored on your hard disk. So this is one part of the storage, and other part is user data, right? Where we install OS in EC2 machine, we have EBS volumes. In EC2 machine, we have EBS volume, right? Here we talk about storing the data. So EBS also, I have told you that we can attach multiple EBS volume to our EC2 machine. We can attach multiple EBS volume to our EC2 machine. You can attach single EBS volume. You can attach multiple EBS volume, right? So in general, in industry, we attach multiple EBS volume. One is for root volume. Okay, this is a volume we have to attach by default. Okay, and this is a extra volume. So root volume, here you are just installing the OS. You are just installing the OS. And other is extra volume where you are storing the user data. Now what is user data? Your company data, your information, or you want to do some analytics on the data, any data. It is a user data, any type of data. Okay, so you have to understand what type of storage we are using. Now coming to the volumes, can we attach EBS volume to multiple EC2 machine? That this is one volume, this is one EC2 machine. So I have attached this EBS volume to one EC2 machine. Can I attach the same volume to other EC2 machine? Let me know. This is EC2 machine 1. This is EC2 machine 2. Can I attach these two same volumes to this machine as well? Yes or no? Does your EBS volume support multi attachment? Yes, no. So EBS volume does not attach to multiple EC2 machine. Now, why we require this thing? Let's say you have some data. Let's say you have one file here, and one person in your company is working on this EC2 machine. He has created some file. Okay, this person has created some file, and he has stored this file in this EBS volume. Now, second person in your company is also running a EC2 machine, working on another EC2 machine, and he want to access this file. He want to use this file. So what he has to do? So as EBS volume is not shared between the EC2 machine, what is the alternative? This is a machine. Now, how can this person can share this file to another person? So here you have to download the file in S3 bucket. Okay, from EC2 you have to download the file to S3 bucket. From S3 bucket, then this person has to copy the file to this EC2 machine EBS volume. Here there will be another EBS volume. There can be one EBS volume. There can be multiple EBS volume. So you have to download the file to S3 bucket, and from there you have to upload the file to again to another machine. Right? It's similar to how you do when you want to copy your file from one laptop to another laptop. Can your internal hard disk be shared between multiple people? So answer is no. So how can we do that? Can we have some facility that we can transfer, we can attach, or let's say that there is some type of storage where it can be shared with multiple people. We have to find something which can be shared with multiple people. Okay, so do you have something like that in cloud? Can EBS volume be attached to multiple people, multiple machine? So EBS will not be shared with multiple machine. So let's say I will draw. This is one EC2 machine. This is another EC2 machine. This is third EC2 machine, and all this EC2 machine want to share some files with each other. So how can you do that? So one technique is to store everything on S3 bucket. Okay, this is how many people do in industry, that the files are stored in S3 bucket. So every person can get the file from S3. But each person has to download the file, upload the file, download the file, upload the file. This has to be done. Okay, because if you want to do any file operation, then you have to download the file into the EC2 machine. It should be on the block storage. If I want to open a file, if I want to do any activity on the file, it has to be on block storage. File should be on the block storage. Okay, but I don't want to do this activity. Every time I have to download the file. So is there any block storage available where it can be attached to multiple EC2 machine? So EBS does not support multi attach. So that's where EFS comes in picture. EFS come in picture. Elastic file system. It is used to attach multiple EC2 machine. It's again a block storage. It is used to store user information, user data. We are not storing OS. It is user files. Not suitable for OS or application. Okay. Why I'm saying not suitable for OS or application? because you can't share the OS to multiple EC2 machine. If you have installed OS on this machine, you can do that. I'm not saying we can't. If you install the OS on this machine, this OS will be shared with multiple EC2 machine, and it will create a problem for your OS. Your OS will crash. So it is not suitable for installing OS and application. Okay, you can store the user data. You can store the user data, and it will be shared with multiple people. So basically, if this EC2 machine has created a file here, this EC2 machine can access that file. So in industry, what we are doing, we are creating a machine, okay, with a small EBS volume. We are creating a machine with a small EBS volume. They are only here only application logs will be there. Application files will be there. Okay, and if you want, you can attach an external EBS volume, or if you want to share this data with multiple EC2 machine, use EFS, Elastic File System. Okay, so Elastic File System is a file storage service for EC2 machine in the cloud, like EBS, but not but EBS can only be attached to single EC2 machine, whereas EFS can be shared with multiple EC2 machines or multiple devices. EFS is easy way to use and provide a simple interface that allow you to create and configure file system quickly and easily. With EFS, storage capacity is elastic, growing and shrinking automatically as you add and remove files, so your application have storage they need when it is needed. Second thing about EFS is there is no commitment that how much storage you required. S3 bucket, when we are working on S3, does there is a limit how S3 is charged? The amount of data you are putting in S3, you for that only you will be charged, right? But EBS, but EBS, EBS volume, you have to specify that I require 30 GB of storage. If you are using it, or you are not using it, you will be charged for 30 GB. Drawback of EBS is if you are not using 30 GB completely, still you will be getting charged for 30 GB. If you are using only 10 GB after 30, still you have to pay for 30 GB of storage. But EFS is auto expanding and auto shrink. That means if you are putting only 10 GB of data here, you will be getting charged for 10 GB. If you delete the file, then there will be no charge. If you are putting 100 GB, then you will be charged for 100 GB, and it is auto expanding just like S3. You can compare EFS with S3 with a feature of block storage. Okay, so that is the last point, that EFS storage capacity is elastic, growing, and it shrinks automatically as you add or remove the file. So your application have the storage they need when they require the most. So this is the image of EFS. You can see multiple EC2 machines. They are attached to the same EFS volume. Okay, so these are the different protocols supported by EFS. EFS support file system version 4, NFS version 4 protocol. You only pay for the storage that you use, no pre-configuration required. Can scale up to petabyte. Okay, EFS can scale up to petabyte. Can support thousands of concurrency. Okay, can support 1,000 concurrent connections. Means you can attach multiple EFS EC2 machines to this. Data is stored across multiple availability zone within a region. Now this is important. So in EBS, the data is stored in a single availability zone. single AZ. But in EFS, EFS, data is stored in multiple availability zone within a region. So we are not selecting the availability zone. It can be any availability zone. Read after write consistency. Any question here? So let's go to lab. Let's go to your EC2 machine. Okay. So how can we check EFS? EFS. Just type EFS. You will find a new separate tab, separate service tab in your account. Okay, you can check a video from Amazon. They will show you. So these are the charges for EFS. Previously, there was only one type of EFS. Now they have different storage: standard storage, infrequent access storage, one zone storage, infrequent request, provision throughput. So these are the different categories of EFS. Okay, for exam point of view, interview point of view, don't want to remember this. If you click here, file system, right now there is no file system in my EFS. There is no EFS which is created. So let's go to EC2 machine, launch instance, click here, give any name. So this is my one machine, Linux kernel, AMI, T2 micro, key value pair which you have selected created previously. Security group, again I am selecting the previous security group, my security group. Now storage, EBS volume, again 8 GB. If you scroll down, there will be a tab for file system, or here, not in advanced. Here, can you see a file system? In storage, there is an option called file system. Edit it. Okay. For Linux, for Linux machine, we have EFS. For Windows, it is EFX. Okay. For Windows, it is FSX. FSX. If you are using Windows Server, using this, use this. If you are using Linux servers, use EFS. They are same. Okay, both are same. Okay. Now, do we have to change anything for EFS? They're not showing any other options. Okay, view the commands. Close. Just a second, I want to check. It used to create a security group previously automatically when we are selecting the file system. Okay, it is giving me an error. You currently do not have any file system in your. You must select a subnet. Okay, let me select a subnet. Okay, now it is showing the option. So you can see it is giving me there is no file system. So it is asking me to select a one subnet. Which subnet I have to create. Now create a new file instance. You can create from here also. You can create from here also, but it is quite easy to just create from the EC2 machine itself. Click here. Give the name my first EFS. Create. So it is mandatory to select a security subnet, one availability zone. Now you can see the file system is created. If you go to EFS, just refresh it here, you can see it has created. It is encrypted. This is the name of your file system. Total size, okay, it is standard. Right now this is the amount of data you have stored on EFS. This is by default. Automatically create and attach a security group. Yes, so a security group required. Okay, one security group is required, so it allow you to connect to your EFS. Automatically mount, automatically mount. So can you see this is automatically mounting the file system. So as it is Linux, you have to mount manually. So Amazon has created a code. You can see here, this code is created by Amazon. Okay, so it will automatically mount your EFS. You can see if you just try to understand the code. So it is against installing the package. Then this is your file EFS file system name. You can see A32 in the end, A32. It is the mount point is this. Okay, and it is mounting. So basically it is, or Amazon has created a code for mounting the EFS volume for you. Okay, and just click on launch instance. Now this is EC2 number 1. Okay, this is EC2 number 1. Let's log into this machine. You can, okay, let this machine starts. You can see the EFS volume is here. Meanwhile this machine is coming up. Let's create one more machine. Okay, let's create one more machine. Everything is same. Select the availability zone. Select any other. Last time 1A. Right now I'm creating 1C or 1B. Okay, security group, same security group which we have used previously. My security group. In file system, click on edit EFS. Now you can see previously it was showing there is no file system. Now file system is already present. You don't have to create a new file system. I want to use the same file system, this one, and give a mount point. You can give any mount point name in this EC2 machine, new EC2 machine. Now you can see it is showing some error. Your file system will cross availability zone data transfer fees, because the previous EC2 machine which we have created, let me check in which availability zone we have created that machine. I think in 1A we have created the machine. 1A. So it is showing, it is telling me that your previous previous EC2 machine was in availability zone 1A. Now you're getting 1B. Because of that, there will be a data transfer charge. Okay, no problem. And create a security group and attach automatically. So I'm just clicking on launch. So I have two EC2 machine. Let's connect to the first one. Let's go on second EC2 machine. Meanwhile, second is coming up. Let's check here. Yes, I'm able to log in. df-kh. You can see this is the EFS volume. Now let's check here. Let's connect to this EC2 machine. So this is the first EC2 machine, 171, and this is another EC2 machine. You can see the name here, EFS2. Now let's check df-kh. Till now it hasn't mounted the EFS volume. Let's wait a couple of minutes. Okay, EFS volume is not mounted on this machine till now. Here it is mounted, but here Amazon didn't mounted the machine df-kh. Okay, now we have to mount it manually. Nice. Okay, there is no problem in that. So let me check if how many connections are there. This is my EFS volume. If you want to mount it, it's not that much you have to do anything. It's very easy. Okay, if you just go to your file system, click here, view details, and attach. Click on attach. This is a command. Directly just copy this command and paste it in your EC2 machine. But before that, let me check. No, Amazon has didn't mounted the EBS volume, the command. Auto code first. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Let me check the commands. Okay, just search online how to mount EFS on EC2. Okay, gather the information. Okay, public DNS of EC2 machine, DNS of your file system, install the NFS command, yum update, just update your machine. Nothing to update. Okay, reboot, just copy this command. So I'm mounting the EFS. This is my mount point I am creating. Now here, mount target DNS. Okay, mount target DNS. This is a command. Let me copy in the notepad. Mount target DNS and mount target IP. Now target DNS and IP. So this is for your mount. The EC2 install can resolve mount DNS IP of. You can option to use IP address. Okay, you can use any of this command. Just copy this thing. So there are two commands. You can mount using IP address of your EFS or DNS. So where you will get the IP address, go to your EFS. So you can see this is our DNS using mount helper using NFS client or IP address. Okay, this is a command. Same command which you have to type. Yes. Just copy this thing here. Apart from everything is same. So this is the DNS address of your EFS. Just copy this thing in that machine. Why it is saying unknown? Just let me check. Security group. Did it get a security group or not? Huh. Okay, it didn't get a security group. Okay, I got the problem. Let me terminate this machine. Simple. I know the problem, but for you it is quite easy. Just create a new machine. EFS 2. Just create a new machine. It is quite easy to create a new machine. Okay, I'm keeping the same voltage on right now, and security group again. I'm creating. I'm using my security group. Okay, and in file system, select your file system. This is my file system. Endpoint EFS2 automatic attach. Just launch. Okay, let me try to connect to this EC2 machine and check if it has launched, it has connected to the instance or not. Here it is mounted. Here it is mounted. You can see. But here let's check. Now it has mounted. Okay, now Amazon has mounted the EFS. So this is EC2 machine number 1. Go to this folder. This is endpoint. This is your inside this folder. If you see, there is nothing, no file is there. Same case is EC2 machine 2. Just go inside this folder. There is no file. Okay, I am creating one file. I need to write a permission on this folder. Okay, chmod 777 chmod /mn. So I have given permission to write on this folder. Now I am able to write. This is test file. So you can see the file is there. You can see there is a file I have created in EFS. See the path. Let's go to another EC2 machine. Same file is there, test. You can just check it out. Test. Open the file. The content is there. So same EBS volume is attached to multiple EC2 machine basically. Same EFS volume, same EFS volume is attached to multiple EC2 machine. Okay. So let me terminate it. Any question on EFS? Any question on EFS? Yes, no. समझ आया? Is it clear? What is EFS? So I'm terminating that EC2 machine as well as I'm deleting the EFS. So inside EFS, go to EFS, click here, delete. Okay, delete the EFS as well. Okay, let's stop here. If you have any question, please let me know. If you have any question, please let me know.